Good afternoon, welcome to NMS. Just sitting here in Valencia in the middle of a park while my wife does some meetings that she's doing, and I thought I'd do my post here. But I am noticing a lot of people when they do a diet and they think, okay, well, I've got to go and eat this many calories, and they set it with, might be chicken, it might be vegetables, might be salads, might be rice, potatoes, things like that. When they set their diet, they're like, oh, yep, cool, I'm, arrears with my calories, so I'm good, I'm going to lose weight. But they forget that they've got to cook that chicken. And how do they cook it? Well, they might cook it in oil, okay? They might add sauces to it. They might stir fry their vegetables, that's more oil. They may go and add vinegar, and they might add salad dressing that's got oil in it to their salads, or they might add maybe mayonnaise to things. When they cook their eggs, they might, obviously scramble their eggs, and they might put a little bit of milk in there. They have oats, and they may have oats with extra milk, and they don't count the amount of milk. They just sort of go, oh yeah, well, I'm going to have 250 mils, but it might be 500 mil they add. You just don't know with these things. So, when you do a plan, you've got to count for everything. Cool, I'm going to have some sauce in there. How much sauce? Okay, count that as calories. I have oil. I've got to count the oil, and make sure that you measure the oil. You don't just sort of go, oh yeah, it says a dessert spoon, but, yeah, that looks like a dessert spoon, even though it's 2 or 3 dessert spoons. The thing is that it's the biggest mistake people make, and then they go, oh, I'm a little bit hungry. I'll just go and grab a handful of nuts, or I'll grab a piece of fruit. That's not much calories, so I should be right, But if you do that 2 or 3 times a day because you get hungry, you add that extra fruit, well, that's going to count for calories. So you just can't add extra things and then think, oh, that's all right, I'm sticking to my diet, because a lot of people do it. And then when they're not losing weight, they think, oh, it must be because of my metabolism, or it must be because I'm under eating, or it must be all these things. It's none of those things. It's the fact that you're not sticking to a calorie level because you're just not eating exactly what you suggested to eat, or that plan that you've made yourself. You're eating more because you're adding extras that you don't count. And that's why calorie counting doesn't work, because people don't count everything, It's like going and being an accountant, and then you do all your accounting and it's out, and it's like, why is it out? Well, maybe when you're doing your accounting, you're missing little things that you buy that you don't count. And, so your numbers are out when you do your budgeting, and then you're like, why are my numbers out? It's no different than your food. Your budget's out, you're not losing weight because, you're eating above your budget. So when you do your diet, guys, make sure you plan everything that you're going to do, how you're going to cook it, what sauces you're going to use. And if it's going over, you're going to have to make adjustments to it, okay? I had a client yesterday who said to me, can I have fruit? And I said, yeah, but you're going to have to remove maybe oats that you've got. Maybe you remove the rice because the fruit has carbohydrates and it has calories. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't want to have fruit then. Fair enough. But he thought he could have extra fruit because, well, fruit's so-called natural sugars, and fruit doesn't have a lot of calories. No, it doesn't, but it's still calories, okay? So everything that you eat is a calorie, okay? Everything. Yeah, you can have Diet Coke, Coke Zero and things like that, but what I'm suggesting here is everything that the way you cook things has to be counted. Hope that helps you guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel. More videos coming daily. More training videos coming. I'm training again tomorrow, so I'll be doing more videos from that workout. Look out for my videos. Give it a like. Make some comments if you got any questions, and I'll talk to you next time. Have a good day.